Hi there, this is Matt at State of Flux here with a couple micro reviews for you. I'm going to be talking about first The Black Phone. This is a movie that came out over the summer. I didn't get a chance to see it for a multitude of reasons, but I am glad I did. I do feel like this horror film has been kind of overhyped a little bit online, especially with regards to Ethan Hawke's performance. I think Ethan Hawke does a good job. He does a very fine job. But the way people were talking about it, his performance was as if like he'd never delivered a performance as magnetic as this before, and I was like, you could interchange him with Kevin Bacon and the movie wouldn't have changed at all. I didn't think like his performance was just that compelling. However, I did really like him in this movie. The thing that I liked most about The Black Phone is that it kind of operates as an anti-80s slasher film. The 80s slasher films have were driven by the killer. They were always forefront in your attention. They had mysterious superpowers that were never explained to you, even if they were human men. And then they killed and isolated their victims, yada yada yada. This acts as an anti-version of that, because now you have the random victim character with inexplicable supernatural powers, both the boy and his sister, who have a supernatural ability that's never explained or justified. It just happens to be and happens to exist, with the killer on the periphery of the storyline, almost interfering with the story as it goes on. That was the angle with which I was interested in the film and incredibly captivated by. The two young leads, both the brother and sister, are fantastic actors, and they were the ones that I would be hyping up far more so than Ethan Hawke, who, again, is very good in this film. But I was really interested in the brother and sister, their storyline, their dynamic, their performances, and that's where a lot of the interesting horror aspects come from, because that's when it becomes this kind of ghost story, and that is really, really well done. I brought up Kevin Bacon because this film reminded me a lot of Stir of Echoes, and I could see once those parallels were drawn, I could see how Kevin Bacon would have been a really good choice to play the killer in Black Phone, but Ethan Hawke, again, does a very good job. But anyway, I really like that movie. It's a strong film, a firm 3.5-star film from me out of 4. Check out The Black Phone. I also got a chance to check out Hellraiser. This is the 2022 Hellraiser that was released exclusively through Hulu. And this was a breath of fresh air in a franchise that has been struggling to find any kind of competency since the early 90s. I thought the characters were well drawn, the spooks were spooky. I have two complaints that kind of held it back from me. It wasn't as scary as it could be, because I couldn't see a damn thing. I complained about how Werewolf by Night was or not Werewolf by Night, Hocus Pocus 2 was underlit. This film is way the hell underlit. I had to turn every light in the house off in order to see what was happening on the screen, and I was still confused at times. It is underlit to a point of, it's not scary, it's frustrating. And that bothered the hell out of me. And then the other big complaint I have is also one of the things that weirdly I think at the end of the year I'm going to be really justifying, or rallying for, and that is the makeup. I didn't like the look of the Cenobites in this film. They don't look like they're self-mutilated anymore. They look like they're organically born, like the xenomorph in Alien. And that's not scary to me. The organic nature of them being like that isn't nearly as scary as the thought of the Cenobites being so hell-bent on mutilation and torture that when there's nobody around to do it, they do it on themselves and each other. That was the impression I got from the original 3 Hellraiser films, in 4 and 5. I've seen the first 5. that's the impression I got with how they were presented in the original films, and also kind of in the Hellbent Heart. Is that what it is? I read the short novella that Hellbound Heart. That inspired Hellraiser, the Clive Barker. He's a great author. The Thief of Always is one of my all-time favorite books. You should check it out. Anyway, that was always the impression that I got, that they were self-mutilating monsters, and the organic nature of them isn't my bag. That said, the makeup on them is extraordinary. It is so, so good and so lifelike and so real, and I think at year's end I'm going to be really rallying for this film to get a makeup nomination, because it is that good. The prosthetics and everything is jaw-droppingly impressive. Don't think it's going to happen, but there you have. So, I give Hellraiser 2.5 stars. It's okay. It's the best Hellraiser movie since Hellraiser 3, and Hellraiser 3 teetered on the edge of, like, is it okay or is it bad? So this is on par with Hellraiser 3, nowhere near as good as Hellraiser, or what I think is one of the few sequels that's better than the original Hellraiser 2, but there you have. So you have a strong recommendation for Black Phone, and if you have Hulu, check it out. You might get spooky noochied. I did think the lead actress in this was really good and really compelling, and Goran Viznik has a very small role in the film, but he's very memorable and unlike anything I've ever seen him deliver before. It's not necessarily interesting character, but he does work I've never seen before, and I like him as an actor. So anyway, there are my thoughts. Very strong recommendation from Black Phone. Soft recommendation for Hellraiser. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of these two movies.